the first one did so well that you guys just had to come back and do a second one.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, we were able to get our funding came a lot easier, on the sequel, for which there'd been a precedent. But I think as much as anything, Ken and I love making movies. We love making movies that everybody can look at, and it worked once, so we thought, well, let's do it again. We're bringing the kids back. It's the same story. It's the same movie. We're bringing them back as high school kids to give it kind of a Glee musical, high school musical flavor. But it's still set in 1937, so we're having some fun with that.
Well, and it's looking like it's a lot of fun. One of the most difficult things I could find when you're doing a film like this is a period piece.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to first find the resources to get something like this made? Costumes, cars, even a train. What kind of work do you have to go through to get resources like this to make it so authentic?
You just have to come to Utah. That's all you have to do. You want to find a wonderful period. I mean, a wonderful period train. There's the best one in the world right here by us, the Heber Creeper. Period films are challenging because of that factor. But my mantra is real simple: cars and costumes sell the period. Most people are not architecturally savvy. They can look at a house and you'd never know, well, is that a 30s, 40s, 50s, 90s? Nobody knows. Older buildings, built in the 1800s sell fine. Anything before 1937. So our approach has been, look, we have a very modest budget, so we focus on cars and costumes. If we get those two things right, then pretty much everything else goes. The other thing, however, is that the young people in the movie need to appeal to the audience today. So we're not sort of jamming them into some period. We're letting them be sort of the darling kids from 2012, but in period costumes. So hair and other things are pretty contemporary. Look, it's not a documentary.
So we got
I kind of don't care.
We got a 1930s film with a 2012 hairstyle.
Yeah, on the teenagers, not on the old folks. But look, we want teenagers and tweeners to love this movie, and we know that if they look at kids the way they dressed in 1937, they're not going to relate. But we've got a gorgeous cast. Our young cast is incredibly talented. They're gorgeous to look at.
They're beautiful.
Loves them, and the music is great. So I think it's gonna be fun.
Now, because our show mostly appeals to filmmakers and especially student filmmakers, what advice could you give somebody who wants to go into being what you do, directing these large-scale productions?
Go to dental school.
Dental school? Why dental school?
Yeah, because you don't want to be in this business. You said I'm talking to film students, right?
No, that's good. That's smart.
No, yeah, be sure you always have a legitimate career to fall back on. Look, it's the classic paradox. It's one of the most challenging and difficult businesses to get into, and to be able to fulfill your dream and really do real movies, big movies. And so at one side, I say, make sure you have a legitimate career, make sure that you have the passion to drive you all the way, because it's not going to be an easy road. But on the other hand, like my son said to me when he announced he was going to film school, I said, "What? No."
I raised you so wrong.
He said, "No, I've just been accepted to USC Film School and I'm going." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because you put me in Western Samoa in a jungle on a film crew when I was 13 years old, and for 5 weeks I said to myself every day, this is amazing. This is what I want to do with my living." He says, "It's your fault." And it is true. I mean, film is an extraordinary profession. When you're able to do it, and if you're able to do it, because it plunges you into a whole variety of a bunch of different worlds. Like now we're in 1937, Doverville, wherever that is, and so I mean it's a fantastic profession.
But don't quit your day job.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I'm a great believer that people should pursue their dreams, but but I think young filmmakers have to be very realistic. However, that said, maybe we're out of time. I hear bells going on.
Well, we probably are really close.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, you don't edit this? It's just.
Oh, you know, it's on the fly a little bit.
Please edit it. Oh no, I would just be yapping. Look, here's the deal: that in the digital world, young filmmakers today have an extraordinary opportunity that we never had. So the opportunity for every person that wants to make a movie, they can make it. And they can find out, and they can be vetted by their friends and their first investors and everybody else. So they can find out fairly early on whether they have the skill. And I would say, honestly, to young students, if you really want to be in the film business, don't fantasize that you're going to get there by coming to work for me and working as an assistant PA and work your way up in 25 years. In today's digital world, with the access you have to the technology, beg, borrow, steal, write a movie, direct it, produce it, and put what you can do on the screen.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And if you get it up there, and people look at it and say, "Wow," then you got yourself a career. If you put it up there and go, "That's the last time I'll ever give you $10,000," then you might want to go to dental school.
Good advice. Good advice. And this is coming from the guy again who has done so many fantastic pieces over the years.
Thank you.
One of my favorites is Legacy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Love Legacy. Beautiful piece.
Thank you.
So take his advice, guys. Go to dental school.